Well, we're here, we're alive, we're chilling. But, I just wanted to talk about overcomplicating life, making life harder than it really is. Because, I can't say life is easy because everything has its own challenges, everything has its own, difficulties. So I can't say life is easy, but we shouldn't overcomplicate it. We shouldn't make it more difficult than it already is. So it's like, it gets me thinking about some ways to kind of confront it. Because a lot of the times it's based upon, overthinking. We think too much about things. We make things worse than it really seems to be. We, in a sense, you could say, enlarge it, or there's a proper word for it, but I can't think of it, I'll be honest. But make everything seem bigger than it already is, or seem greater than it already is, or the problems we may have. And it's taking it down to a level of just, can I solve it? Is there a solution that I can do? Yes or no? And if yes, then what will I do about it? Or how do I do it? Quite simple. Every problem, if it has a solution that you can do, solve it. Makes everything simple. Easier said than done, because sometimes we want to procrastinate, or again, we keep overthinking, but it can only be countered by the thought of, I'm gonna just do it. I just gotta do it. I have to knock it out first. And if it's not something you can control, if it's not a solution that is within your control, then why worry? Why worry? It's not in your hands, so don't stress about it. And of course, it may be a thought that appears, and it may be something that's like, I wish it could go this way. I wish it plays out this way. That's just a hope. We can't control that, and it's like, if it doesn't happen, cool. If it happens, cool. Even better. But it's, don't feel too attached to the results. Don't feel too attached to the results, or trying to figure out when you yourself aren't capable of solving it at the current moment, or aren't capable of solving it overall. Because some things we just can't solve. Some things may take time. So it's figuring out, is it solvable? Can we personally solve it? Yes or no? And do with that information what you will. Because it's like, we have to sometimes take things down to a level of, can we or can we not? And the idea that it's like, is there that opportunity to change it? Can we change it? Is that door open for it? Like, is this something that we can actually have in our control, in our grasp, and change it? But again, it's another thing, because as I was saying, some of us tend to overthink. Some of us tend to overthink, and it's comes to a point where we just have to make the action and trust our decision. Do we accept it? Well, we did it, so we have to accept it, but do we trust it? Do we believe we made the best course of action that we have right now? With what we know and everything at our disposal, did we make the best possible action? And if you did, amazing, great. You did your best, just leave it at that. All of this seems easier said than done, but it's all, in a sense, just an awareness of how to constantly keep moving about and constantly keep living, in a sense. How do we want to live? Creating the most ease for ourselves. Living the most stress-free, in a sense. Because, we have to trust our decisions at the end of the day. We're the ones making them, so trust the person behind it. And in the future, sure, you may decide, I wish I would have done this because A, B, and C, you found a better solution. But you may have only known because you did it, so you figured something out. And then the next time you try something new, you can apply it. You can say, okay, let me do this. Let me make an improvement. It's just, failure is common. Failure is normal. What people believe, like, failure is normal. It's a normal thing. but people make it out to seem like it's rare or it shouldn't happen, but it's common. Everyone makes mistakes on a day-to-day basis, whether it's big or small. Things happen. So it's like, just trust your decisions, keep it simple, and even if you're overthinking it, it's the action in itself that has to be done. And I'm just thinking about, sometimes we get caught up in the thought or train of thought. It's like, did we make the right choice? Was it right or wrong? And it's hard to say, because a lot of times we make the choice based upon what we believe is right at the time, and we trust ourselves. So by all means, it was the right choice at the time, and we decided that's what I'm going with. But if you felt it was a wrong choice at the time, why did you take it? And that's something you would have to ask yourself and talk to yourself about. Why did you do it, knowing full well it didn't seem right to you? And you get the result of whatever it is. And if you like the result, then you got proved wrong, in a sense. You proved yourself wrong, or that idea wrong. But if it was a result you didn't like and you didn't want to do it, then now even more reason why you didn't like it, why you shouldn't do it again. But overthinking, in a sense, it feels like there's two ways to use it. There's two ways to overthink. One that makes you effective in a way. You see problems, you see things at different levels and different angles of how should I tackle it, how should I confront it, how should I challenge it. And you see different solutions for different problems from different angles. So it's like your whole plan or your whole idea of whatever it is, it's so solid because you've thought of different things and different ways to attack it and confront it, and any possibilities that come forward, you have a solution for. But it's like, the other overthinking is just overthinking in a sense where we get, I guess you could say, lost in a loop of doubt, anxiety, fear, and we constantly think, what if everything goes wrong? And that's overthinking that really just causes us a lot of pain and stress. But how would you deal with that? When I would have it, it came from a place of just lack of trust. But the only way I guess I was able to just confront it is action in itself. Give yourself a certain sense of urgency, in a sense, because with overthinking, it's like you're wasting time, you're putting it off, and you'll never know the result of whatever it is until you actually do it. Yeah, and just make it simple. You just do it, and however it goes, you got your lesson learned there. But something that was also on my mind is just comparing ourselves to others, comparing ourselves to the people around us. And we do it so often on so many different metrics, so many different scales, more now than ever because of social media, but it was always there beforehand. We compared ourselves through monetary, through relationships, through, clothing, however we choose to. And we take a look at other people's lives and it's like, why don't I have that? I wish I had this. I wish I was given this. While ignoring completely your own life, you're completely ignoring yourself and everything you've gone through. Because they may look at a certain aspect of you and which said, I wish I had that. And it's just this constant cycle of comparing yourselves and wishing you had other people's talents instead of recognizing your own talents and playing with those strengths, but also, I guess, improving your own weaknesses. But we are no better than no one else. We are no better than anyone else. We are human. We make mistakes. We have emotions. We have thoughts. We're human. We aren't perfect. No single person is perfect. I'm not perfect. Your parents aren't perfect. your teachers, nobody was perfect. We're all flawed in some way. We all have, you know, things that we can improve on. Whether it's just what we know, whether it's our life circumstances, our mentality, our health. There's so many things we can improve on. And to say we know everything is limiting of ourselves. We don't know everything. So it's like taking a look at life with just, I guess you could say, a sense of humbleness. Just being humble in the idea that we don't know everything. We don't. So it's like if someone can tell us something fascinating or just something that we never knew and we could apply, it's like that just makes everything so much better. That just, in a sense, helps create an even better version or view of our own life and how we interact with people or how we interact with ourselves, essentially. Because, you know, we don't know everything, but at the same time we want to make use of everything we do know. We want to use our talents, use our skills, use our intellect and everything we have at our disposal, and, you know, create what we want to create. Because we all have a sense of creativity, we just a lot of times aren't given the freedom to express it because we're told not to. And that's just what we grew up with. There's no hate, there's nothing of that sort. It happens sometimes. Our parents don't know better sometimes. They're just showing with what they know. And that's the thing, it's like we don't know everything. They did the best they could, we're doing the best we can, and we make the full use of our own selves, I guess you can say, while accepting help from other people, while accepting we don't know everything. So if people can help, or if I can go out my own way and learn, by all means, I'm gonna do that. But it also gets me thinking, since I'm just on the topic of people, right? You know, it's like we can't control anyone. Which is obvious, right? We can't control anyone, but they can't control us. Or at least they shouldn't. Contrary to popular belief, it's like you shouldn't be controlled by anyone. But a lot of people are, in the sense that it's like, keeping it short and simple, if someone will tell us something or an idea and an opinion that they have about us or something we're doing, and we change it because we don't like it, because we don't like what they say. So we tend to just hide a part of ourselves off, or regret doing that, or feel embarrassed or shame because we did that and they made fun of us or said something about it that didn't sit right with us. When you should have the most firm belief about what you're doing. Your opinion about yourself and what you're doing or what you think should be the strongest of anything, because you can ask 100 people, 1,000 people, 1 billion people, and you'll get so many different answers that it's like, what's the point? When it's your own life and your own choice is what matters the most. You know, nothing wrong with getting advice from people, but it's, at the end of the day, your life, your choice, whatever you choose to do, you know, it's in your hands. Just keep it as simple as, it's my choice, I'm gonna do it, or I'm not. It's my choice, I accept it, I accept everything that comes with the choice I chose. And, you know, that's what it is. And sometimes when you choose to separate yourself, simplest way I can say it, when you choose to separate yourself, by that I mean just you're choosing actions or habits or taking your life in a way that separates you from other people, because, you know, you want to become extraordinary, you want to become above, in the sense that you want to become greater than what you are to yourself, or greater than who you said you are right now, or you want to become more, you want to fill out your potential, because we all have potential. It's just a matter of using it. You just want to use all your potential, so only thing left is achievements and knowledge and things of that nature. So it's like you're going through, you're knocking things out left and right, okay? And people may say things, people will give opinions about it, you know, whether positive or negative. And let's take the negative, for example. You know, they say, whatever it is, they can comment about your appearance, just you as a person, right? And it may hurt you, it may upset you, I can't deny it, you know, it may upset you. But I believe you shouldn't stoop to that level of negativity. You shouldn't stoop to that level of those who hurt you. And just because, one, it's what am I focusing on? My attention, my time. Do I have time to even just, you know, take, I guess, in a sense, pointless criticism? Because a lot of times, you know, that just comes out of a place of bitterness or envy. But at the same time, it's like I just don't have it in me just to have that kind of energy at a certain point, because it just seems kind of pointless in a sense. It's like, I don't need to do that, I don't want to do that, it's not in my best interest to, because at one point it's like, what do I gain? Like, what, it helped my ego? Like, no. You said what you said. It affects me if it does, but other than that, you said it. Doesn't say anything about me, doesn't say anything about my character or who I am or who I make myself out to be and choose to be. But it's like, it's stooping to that level. It's like, don't stoop to the level of those that hurt you, because you become that which causes you pain. You become that which cause pain, I guess you can say. You're stooping to that level of just pain and anger and just giving that out to the world, when instead it's like you could be focusing on giving positivity, love, joy, all of it. Is what do you choose to send out to the world? Because what are you, I guess you can say, aligned with? What are you in tune with? Are you in tune with just peace, love, prosperity, joy? And what do you have your focus on? But I don't know, I guess I just like doing things that brings peace, because that getting caught up in drama, getting caught up in people's anger or people's criticism, it feels like it causes chaos. It feels like it causes disruption. And you know, on one level, chaos and destruction, it creates something new, it can build something new, but it's like it was necessary. But just people's criticism doesn't really seem necessary. You would be tearing down yourself for no reason. You're tearing yourself down for no reason, or you're letting someone else tear you down for no reason. That's not the kind of chaos you need. Because I don't know, I just like a fairly peaceful life. I like a fairly calm life. You know, if things need to change, I'll change it, and there's chaos in that change. Things are getting torn down, things are getting changed, which there's chaos in that, but after that comes peace. I've accepted the fact that things have changed, and I've been accustomed to how it changed, and that's the kind of chaos I'm talking about. Not the chaos of gossip, anger, or not even anger, but gossip, just criticism, hate. No, I don't need none of that. It doesn't help me, but I know it happens, so it's like I can't completely ignore that it doesn't happen. And you know, people feel emotions, people go what they go through, and sometimes I feel like people aren't necessarily mad at us, but it's just something that they've been dealing with, and you just happen to be in the crossfire. You just happen to do one little minute thing that they didn't like, and they just let it all out. They just let it go because they can, just because they felt the need to. And I don't know, I just think that sometimes when we have an understanding, it's like that's when we judge people the least. You know, and I talked about that in a different video, but it was like when we understand something or someone the most, or a circumstance the most, that's when we are like the least judging, because we understand that they've had either struggles or things that push them to do what they do. So I guess that's where the compassion comes from, just understanding, like, I know you're going through something, like, I may not be able to help you, but I understand your pain. I'm gonna just sit here with you, and you can just say what you gotta say and just whatever. But at the same time, it's like, I understand, some people push boundaries, and we have to have boundaries. We have to have boundaries, things we just don't tolerate, and it's like, like, hey, you're stepping in line, you're crossing a line, like, I don't appreciate that, and, it's up to them to accept the fact that it's, because it's like, if they cross a boundary and they don't care about it, that shows, what would be the proper word? It shows how much they value, in a sense, because it's like, if they don't care about something you care about, that just shows that they're, what's the word? Inconsiderate of your personal beliefs and your own personal standings. So it's like, do you want someone like that around you? And it may be someone close to you, but a lot of times it's just happens. It happens to some people more often than others. And I've been blessed that, I haven't really seen it too much in my life, but I guess it just brings back to a sense of peace and just tranquility and just all of it, just having a space for ourselves where we can relax, unwind from, I guess, life as it's created for us. And I mean by that, like, work, school, all that, just having a sense of peace. But even so, it's like, it gets me thinking of, like, Stoicism, right? Being calm, just being present, in a sense, and how they just, what's the word, nonchalant, but it's more so just calm and accepting and peaceful. But it's like, sometimes I feel as if it gets misconstrued, in a sense where it's like, you never feel your emotions, or you shut them away, or you never you don't have emotions, in a sense where you're almost robotic, or a stone, in a sense. But I don't think that's necessarily the case, where I believe it's like, you have emotions, you have all of them, as we have them for a reason, and you just accept it. You say, okay, I feel anger, I feel happiness, I feel joy, I feel sadness, and it's like, not acting based upon those emotions, because it's like, let's say you feel a negative emotion. On one level, it shows us something isn't right. It shows us something is bothering us. It shows us, something isn't going well, so we can fix it, we can change it if we can. And if we can, it's like, oh well. But if we can, then we have to, by all means. But I guess, even so, just taking a look at it, just feeling our emotions, it's like, and not acting based upon them. And I guess we can take it into different, paths or examples, because I'm just thinking of, let's say you're happy, you go on a shopping spree or a spending spree, or something that constantly keeps elevating, and just quick happiness, I guess you can say. Like that, just doing things based upon the happiness, which leads to quick and more happiness. And it's like, that's just one way of looking at it. But, or even so, it's like, let me see, what else? I guess anger is an easy one. You feel angry, so you yell at someone, or you hit someone, or you do something reckless out of anger. That's another example. Or, let's see, embarrassment, you feel embarrassed, so you avoid doing it, or you feel shame, so you don't do something, you run away from it, you say, I'm not doing it, I feel embarrassed for even just or even if you do it, you feel embarrassed, and it's like, ain't nothing wrong with it, ain't nothing wrong with it. But what matters is just the action in itself for embarrassment, because I feel like it all just kind of loops together, it loops around, and it just kind of is cohesive in a sense where it's like, you overthink, and then you think about things that happen or things that could happen, and you feel a sense of embarrassment or shame because in your own mind you're thinking about, oh, this could happen, so let me not do it, and then this whole cycle just repeats itself. But I guess taking it to the level of just keeping it simple, keeping life easy for us and peaceful. One thing I realized is just have fun with it. Just have fun with life. Life is, I guess, serious in a sense, but it's also funny. It's also, you're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to feel everything. You're supposed to just breathe and just live life, live life, have fun, and don't be controlled by, I guess, quick and easy emotions, or even so just get lost in just only having fun or only working. It's having a balance with life and having a balance with what we need at the current time, because I can't say go 50-50 on work and fun, because sometimes the scale doesn't work that way as what we need right now. And over time we constantly readjust how we want to live life and what we need at the current moment. Maybe right now I'm lacking because I need to pay stuff off, so I go 95% of my time goes on work and things of that nature, and 5% for fun. Sometimes it's like that. But then later down the line, it's like, okay, I can spend more time for fun. Let me go 60-40, and over time, however life tends to work out for you, that's how you adjust to it. It's being able to switch around things in your life and just not being lost in either, too much fun, too much whatever, or too much work, too much seriousness, and too much all of it. It's having just easygoing life, I guess you can say. But I guess with that, it's like final thoughts. It got me thinking of this video I was watching earlier as I was working. It was about frequencies and just how different frequencies can affect us, like as people, and how it can help us and things of that nature. And it's interesting to see, because it's like now it's easier. Now it's like you can go on YouTube, search up whatever frequency it is, and I remember the specific things associated with it. So it's like, if I remember right, one was like 432 or something like that, for like just, I think it was calmness or peace, and it's like we can just play that and it helps us. And even so, it's like emotions have frequencies and all of that. So it's crazy to see how that all plays out, and everything is just kind of interesting in that sense, where it's like, we can help ourselves by listening to music in different frequencies. And even so, it's easy now because we got YouTube, and we can just play something and have an AirPod in or headphones, and just, or even so, it's like you're going to sleep, you just have some nice music with that level of frequency of what you need, and just have it playing. And that was just something I found interesting. Don't know if that's necessary. I feel like that's just necessarily a common thing now, but it was just something I found interesting. I was watching a video about it, but it was just kind of in the background, so I wasn't completely aware because I had work at the same time, and it's like, no, I did enjoy this talk though. I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy this talk. I was just speaking my mind, and it's fun to me. It makes things just a lot easier and helps me process things. in a different way. Instead of just thinking it out, I can talk it out and speak it out. And it helps me, I guess, with my speaking too. Helps me form clear, more concise words and sentences. So it's killing two birds with one stone, I guess you can say. But it truly does mean a lot just to be able to talk and just to be able to express myself in this way. And I'm glad that, of course I'm not where I want to be at. It's not the end result yet. And I'm still working on that, on different areas, different things. But I'm blessed to be here right now, right here, right now. And just speaking and the mindset I have right now. And of course it's going to continue to evolve. Things are going to continue to evolve. We are going to continue to evolve and change and grow and become more beautiful and become more of what we already are and what we know we can be. So it's interesting and fascinating to see all this kind of play out. And hopefully, we can come to a point where we help other people, if they are truly accepting of it, just grow. Because, I can't say heal because, some people are already healed, but if they need healing, then by all means, by all means. So it's like just taking what we can and just growing and improving and striving for more, I guess you can say. But I guess I'm gonna just leave it off there. Love you forever and always. See ya.